A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
Ask me. Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them. We'll read them. Then we'll give you answers. You know it. I've got it. I've got the answer. The answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
It's fully insane that you can't charge a Zoom recorder. Like, it's 2021 and it's running on batteries. Like, do we work at Radio Shack?
I think it has like a cable that you can buy, but then you have to be by a outlet. You know what I mean? Like,
aren't we all at all times?
We'll look into that.
I'm sorry. I think it just kind of speaks to like everything is shitty and everything requires the consumer to like buy a dongle, buy an RX cable, it's either Droid or Apple, and you're getting butt fucked either way. Sorry, kids. That's gross. That was so visceral.
This is what you're saying to the children on Thanksgiving week, the Americans.
You guys, turkey time is tomorrow. I have my own Ask Iliza Anything, and I'm just going to share this as if I were writing in. Okay, we have a relative in my family who has not spoken to the family in something ridiculous like 44 years, okay?
Oh.
It's not a relative that it's a relative that I only met recently. Obviously, has nothing against me, although I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not your fault.
It's like this old generational beef, okay? But it's within a close family position. And so I invited this relative to Thanksgiving. And they accepted. I was like, great. And then they asked me yesterday, would it be okay? This relative is older, like your parents' age, but like a little bit older. Would it be okay to bring their on and off again girlfriend for the last decade plus? And I'm not a big fan of plus ones in general or in my home. Like my whole life, adult life, I throw parties and it's always your like comic friend that's like, can I bring this girl that doesn't know we're on a date? Can I bring my dingleberry boyfriend? Can I bring my idiot husband who you've never met? It's like, no, you can't. Just sit quietly in my living room. Anyway, asks to bring her. The only information I had about her was what he told me about her the first time we met, which is that like she's kind of a hothead, but whatever. Asks to bring her, and I think about it. And of course, no one in my family gives me any direction. They're like, it's really up to you. I'm like, cool, guys. Fucking thanks so much. Love being the lady of the house. So I decline. I say, we're all really looking forward to getting to know you, many of us for the first time. And while I appreciate she's a security blanket, we'd all like to get to know you first. We're all looking forward to it. Okay? 24 people coming. I get a text today. Yesterday, she and I got engaged. And I feel I have to choose between the two of you. So I will not be attending your Thanksgiving. God bless you all.
Did they get engaged just for this purpose?
I have many theories. Part of me is like, if you're engaged, that's different than like a lady friend and you don't want to like be alone with family. But part of me is like, oh my God, were you planning on announcing this at the Thanksgiving, thus hijacking it?
Oh,
I don't know.
I wonder if it does feel like they just got engaged, so that could be the response to not being allowed to bring her.
But also, I'm like, why are the only options either you go with her or me? Like, why not say we got engaged? I didn't, now it's a surprise, whatever. Now can I bring her? Like, that's different. But I wasn't even given the chance to be like, oh, bring her along.
Yeah, right. At that point, be like, actually, I know that when we talked, I made it sound like it was kind of on again, off again, but we just got engaged. So I would love to bring her. And then you would be like, yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, it's not just some rando. Sure.
But they didn't say that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know that I've never had a crazy family Thanksgiving. And I don't know if I want to start now because I have like a new rug and I'm afraid people are going to spill. Like I told Noah, he couldn't make crudité because I'm like, because there's dip and the rug just got here. And someone's going to get sloppy.
You need to keep them all outside.
I can't wait to log off this podcast and give you like the full details with names.
Oh my God. I'm waiting. Okay. But based on what you've presented, I think the thing you have to do is, even though this person is being so weird about it, is you have to be like, oh, okay, you're engaged. Great. Bring her, even though it's maddening.
Okay. There's another part to it.
Okay.
This relative, I have a very small family, both sides. My parents are divorced, but still small. This relative also asked if they could give a presentation to the family about when that specific branch of the family left Nazi Germany in the 30s. Now, first of all, my mom's whole side, like we are like 5th generation American Jews. Like we didn't, everyone's got part of their family that I'm sure left. But I was just like, well, there's only... of the side that you're on, there's only like 4 blood relatives. And there's 24 people. And I was like, while nothing says stuffing your face like the Holocaust, I don't know that it would be right to make everyone sit through that.
The first time that they're joining the family for a meal, they want to do a presentation. I don't care what it's on. I don't want to watch a presentation. You got to set up AV in your house. Like
I was like, can you drop the photos in a zip file? Because like, I'd love to know that stuff, but I was like, it'd be one thing if my parents were married and I wasn't married. Like if it was a smaller blood family, but it's not. It's like
such an array of different people, and it's just like to get everybody there who's like there to celebrate, like and give thanks. Like let's all sit down so that I can do my TED talk. Like I don't want that.
I was just like, oh man, like it's just so many odd things.
So can you say yes to +1, no to presentation? Do they cancel each other out?
No, I'm saying yes to Holocaust word art and no to the fiance. No, I'm saying no to everything. This is all we're carrying 24 people. I'm carrying a baby. This is what I'm talking about, folks. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to say, no, that's weird, but I'll see you soon.
Yeah, can you just say, I'm sorry to hear that. I'd love for us to get together. Both of you have dinner with just you guys at some point.
I don't know. You
don't want to? I'm
still waiting for feedback from I haven't answered yet. Because part of me is like, you could come, but then part of me is like, should we just get rid of the whole thing? Like, I shouldn't have to try this hard.
Is this a person who knows how to listen to podcasts, you think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This is a person who, when you text them, like sometimes it goes to their email. Like you're never sure. So we'll just, I think that's why I'm not naming names.
No, but that is such an intriguing, that twist is.
Oh my God.
I'll need all the your Thanksgiving is going to be great.
I'm going to come out of Thanksgiving with a Holocaust story for you and a contemporary Thanksgiving story for the rest of us.
Do you think this will be your weirdest Thanksgiving?
100%. We do have a relative who will not get vaccinated, so they will not be there. So that's like a bummer. I think it'll just be a lot of people. And I really wanted to procure a wreath, but it's hard to get a wreath that is autumnal while simultaneously nodding toward Christmas without being too Gentile. And I found the perfect solution. It is made of moss, and I'm going to dry oranges and put them on there. No
that's
Christ.
Cute.
No Christmas, but also Christmas, but still fall. I've checked all the boxes.
Yeah, you're really good at like the little touches, like your little pumpkins and like classy, just a little sprinkled throughout.
Dude, I don't know. My decorator comes in, like we just finished getting all our furniture, and I can see like her eyes rolling in her head. I'm like, it's a velvet pumpkin. And I'm like, look, I travel a lot through the Midwest. Let me buy my things. I know that you're saying classy. I know they're not. I know it's very hodgepodgey, live, laugh, love, but
I think that the pumpkin is classy.
The pumpkin is a noble gourd.
Yeah.
Anyways, what are you looking forward to the most?
For Thanksgiving?
No, just as the world starts to end slowly. Yeah.
It really is ending. It feels a little less like it's ending here because it's actually cold, but
Yeah.
it is ending.
I'll tell you what, I was back east, not so cold in New York at the time, but Pittsburgh came through with the cold weather. Ohio was cold. I loved it though.
But when you're up on that stage, it's pretty hot, right? Like with all those people or no?
Lately it hasn't been, but then we did a show in Ohio. For some reason, it was just really warm, but I love a good sweat on stage. Moving that monkey body around, dropping monkey
I
sweat.
can't believe that baby is going all over.
I was telling Emily, that's you.
Yeah.
People are like, how do you have the energy? I'm like, I'm going to give birth to a raisin because I have sucked out this baby's energy. Like I wake up every day. I'm like, let's go. Got to go to Christmas market. Got to see the world. Got to do my job.
Good. The baby will come out easy then if it's little in there.
Yeah, chill out. Tiny baby. Anyway. You didn't say what you're looking forward to, but that's okay.
Thanksgiving. I mean, it's my first
fancy.
Thanksgiving with my family in 8 or 9 years. I haven't been back for Thanksgiving since I moved to LA.
Okay, which is weird because I always invited you to have it with my family.
I
And you're
did,
like,
I know I
got
did it with my friend
plans."
Melissa. I know, but I didn't.
Cool.
I never flew back here for
Yeah,
it.
but where's that friend now? Probably
Florida,
dead.
I think.
Okay, cool. Cool that you maintain that relationship.
We would always just go get like Gelson's Thanksgiving food and watch Christmas movies. Very laid back.
That's
and then I would
cute.
go to sleep.
I've been like thinking about already, like when you're pregnant, your stomach is tinier and the baby's pushing on everything. So you can only eat a little bit. And I'm like, what's the perfect bite?
You
So,
have to make very careful choices.
very careful. No bread.
And how are you going to do, like, so since you're hosting and you're having a lot of people, so there's going to be a lot of food. You got to make sure that you call dibs on those leftovers. You know what I mean?
don't
Like
care.
everybody can't be taking all the leftovers away.
No one's taking it, and also they can have it. I don't care. It's fine. I'll be like a foie gras goose, just like cornbread in my throat, waking me up, sleeping upright with a breathe right strip. There was a girl on the plane today who sat next to me. She was a young girl. She was in her 20s, and she had a dog about Blanche's size or Tian Fu size, and it sat on her lap the whole time. And I'm sitting there like a full-on pregnant woman with a breathe right strip, just like struggling to breathe. And I remember I traveled with Blanche like that for 9 years, and I spared her telling her that. And I spared her any pictures because she doesn't fucking care. She had fake nails and like a nose ring. And I was just like, I wanted to look at her and be like, this could be your future. Like I was once a young beauty.
I saw you're wearing that breathe right strip just
Out.
all the time now.
I am normalizing wearing breathe right strips. And I said to Noah, I was like, people are going to think I got in a fight. He's like, nobody thinks an 8-month pregnant woman got in a fight. And in my mind, I'm like, no one can tell I'm pregnant. He's like, everyone can tell you're pregnant.
From the side. From the front, you wear a lot of black, so still no.
Totally. But yeah, breathe right strip. Even this is like a struggle. Like it's getting to that point where I'm like, every time I sit up in bed, it's like, ugh. So anyway.
I mean, that baby's a coming.
That baby's a coming.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, it's like 7 weeks on the road, including 10 days after I got home from Europe on the East Coast. It's like I get this time off for Thanksgiving, then 2 more gigs. Then I get to take a break and have a child.
Yeah, because you're home for most of December, right?
Better be. Yes, I am.
My God, I felt so. I had to go to your website to be like, when's she out of town, so I know when we can record. I felt so out of the loop.
December 3rd and 4th, get those last minute stocking stuffer gifts and come see me in Oakland and Reno.
Oh,
then I'm off to
okay.
have a
So not
baby.
too far, local-ish shows.
They're close. I don't think I could handle. We'll talk about my bottom of the cob. I don't think I could do another long plane ride.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I know being thankful is on everyone's minds, and with thankfulness comes gratitude, a concept that honestly really bothers me. I'm tired of thanking everyone else. You know who deserves a thank you? Me. You deserve a thank you. When's the last time you thanked yourself? Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we are doing the absolute best we can. So here I am reminding you to send some thanks to the people in your life, but mostly send some thanks to yourself. And a great way to do that is with therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time, no additional charge. You don't have to travel anywhere. They take the hassle out of finding that perfect therapist. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Iliza today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Iliza. Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, well, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet. That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling, and nothing feels better year-round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details. But I'm ready for questions now.
All right. We have a couple of updates. One I think is interesting because we had a guy write in who was teaching English in South Korea, and he met this guy who put bleach in his shampoo.
Yes, the guy. Yes,
Yeah.
Every time he took him back, the guy did a weird, shitty, angry prank.
Crazy stuff. So he moved back to Canada, and this crazy guy was like, "Hey, I'm back here now too. Like, do you want to make amends? Should I meet up with him?" And we were like, "No, we're very scared of this man." So
if he did, he doesn't get to ask the question.
No. First off, I have no feelings for Bleach Boy whatsoever. The only reason I was entertaining the idea of meeting him was because I never got closure. After the bleaching incident, I gave him an ultimatum. Either I report him and he gets deported from Korea, or I say nothing and he leaves on his own accord.
You could get deported
After
for
he
that?
vanished and blocked me from email and all social media. I was only thinking about meeting him to blast him since I never got the opportunity.
Wait, hold on. Blast him sexual?
You know,
Okay, all right,
to tell him how fucked up the
blast
entire situation was, and that I sincerely hope he's getting the help I think he so desperately needs.
No.
His mother even messaged me an apology on his behalf. WTF. In any case, I never met with him.
Great.
After this convoluted story, my question is, what's your favorite color? Joking. What's the strangest thing an ex ever did to you after a breakup?
Oh, okay. First of all, I'm glad you didn't meet up with him. Also,
So relieved.
Goes for boys and girls. This thing, it's I just want to let them know, and tell them to get the help that they need. You don't care if they get the help. Okay? You're done.
Mm-mm.
This thing, I just want to make sure that they're okay. It's the equivalent of a girl texting, how's your morning going? You're just trying to get in for that sweet, sweet love. I mean, there's strange, and then there's oh, you're a fucking stalker. I had one boyfriend who I dated in college who was a crazy person when I moved to LA. Of course, endlessly harassed me and then would say things like, I will expose you. I'm like, okay, I'm 21. Expose me for what? There's always this threat that like everyone's gonna know what you're really about. I'm like a girl that just graduated college that has a day job at a desk. I remember I had this boyfriend who moved here and we lived together and everything was great and we were in love. And he basically like just could not hack it in LA, didn't have a job and had to leave. He just had to move home because he had like no prospects in life and he'd like quit anything that he may have been decent at and he was very attractive, but like just, I guess a loser, but very attractive. Anyway, I remember he like basically like the relationship ended with a whimper, not a bang. And like months later, he sent me this email that was like, I'm going to be coming back for you one day and I'll be standing outside of your house. He was trying to be romantic, like holding up a boombox, like say anything. And I was just like, that I am smart, so I know better. It is so manipulative and narcissistic. And even though I don't think he's a narcissist and selfish to be like, I'm going to be coming back for you. Like, what's that? Like, so wait for me. You didn't go off to war. You're broke. I don't remember if I went off on him or I just like spammed the email so I never had to see it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to be coming back one day. So just you wait. Like, fuck you, weirdo. Anyways, I'm still waiting.
I mean, I had someone threaten to share my text messages once because I talk a lot of shit in text message.
I mean,
I say a lot of mean things about other people via.
That could be doctored and that's all hearsay. And
Exactly. If anything ever, I'm going to say it's all Photoshop. Did you see, by the way, did you see that you were in Dumois?
Oh my God. Laura Murphy, who directed my sketch show, literally just texted that to me. I don't know what Dumois is.
Okay. So I'm warning you because now there's eyes on you. So it's basically this celebrity gossip Instagram and they will post anything that anyone DMs them. So they'll post a lot of like, they would post things like, I heard this about Armie Hammer's cannibalism, like, and they don't fact check it. And they're like, I don't know. I just got it from a source.
So
but
they're
they'll
the news.
also post a lot of like, I saw this person eating here. I saw
Right.
this person at CVS. I saw this person.
She showed me.
So you were spotted and at eating steak.
I was spotted eating steak at Balthazar. And this person was like, and I love her. And they completely misspelled my name.
Both parts of it.
Which is like, just to remind you, you're not famous enough.
They could have been doing talk to text, which is what how people spell your name wrong, I find most often.
I wrote back to Laura. I was like, how cool of me to have been spotted. And I took my team out to dinner when we got to New York because we were doing all of these sold out shows at the Beacon and this big East Coast run. So went out to dinner. And I remember thinking like, it's New York, put on some fucking makeup. And we went and I had to get my steak well done, like trash because I'm pregnant. It was really, it was difficult to eat. It's hard to eat like an expensive steak that's done like a hamburger. But I did it.
Well, now I feel like whenever I see someone on there once, they start to be on there more because people are like, I saw them. So watch out. Be careful out on the streets.
Anybody see me at Rolling Green today buying pots and plants? Anybody see me buying a coffee on Fairfax? I'm out there.
You know where you always got recognized, like a girl would always come up to you, I feel like whenever we went to Erewhon. That's your...
Really? I have like no memories of going there.
We went there a handful of times, I feel like years ago, and every single time a girl would know who you were.
That's my demo. Also, can I tell you something?
It is.
So we got Taylor, the new assistant.
Yeah.
Remember how you were like super anti ever coming into any building with me?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm just going to wait in my car and smell my own breath. I'm going to be here. Taylor, I had a meeting at Soho House and I was like, Taylor, why don't you come? And she had never been.
Yeah.
And it was so cute because she was like, but look what I'm wearing. And like, it's okay. It's LA. Like, it doesn't matter. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And she was like, can I bring my backpack? And I wanted to be like, no, you can't. Celebrities only. No one else can bring a backpack. But she, unlike you, was excited to be invited into a nice place and not have to sit outside like an alley goat.
I was excited. I would just rather sit with my backpack away from those judging eyes.
You can bring a backpack. Oh God, they're not judging. Nobody there knows what they're doing. Anyway.
Also, someone sent us, you had a lot of hot takes on baby clothing in terms of like with little sayings on it we were talking about. And someone sent us a baby onesie that's on sale at a Christian women's boutique. And it has a big piece of turkey on it. It says, I'll have the breast, please.
That's horrible. It's also weird that you described it as a piece of turkey because that sounds like shaved deli meat. The breast, please. Yeah, none of that. That being said,
so gross.
at the show in Ohio, somebody custom made a gorgeous onesie with stars on it, and in each star is Tianfu's face.
Oh, that's very special.
I'm gonna make sure that kid can wear that for a very long time, even till
You gotta put her in it, and then take a picture of her next to Tianfu.
Somebody gave me like a little Chinese pink cape. I put that in my carry-on. So we got pictures coming anyway, or they've probably already come out by now. Let's do questions.
Hi, everyone. Iliza, I loved watching your Instagram stories across Europe. I was able to travel vicariously through you, so thank you always for sharing.
Yeah.
Now, my question. After college, both my brother and I moved to the same city about 4 hours from my parents. And when they came to visit about 2 to 3 times a year, we split hosting duties. Once my brother started living with his now wife, I took over hosting. For context, I'm a single woman in a small 1-bedroom apartment. It's not super convenient for my parents to stay with me, but they're family and you do what you have to do. Well, my brother and sister-in-law have just had a baby. He's absolutely adorable. I love him. I love being an aunt.
All right.
My parents came up and, of course, stayed with me for a few days when he was born. No problem. They're coming 2 weeks later to stay with me for Thanksgiving. No problem.
Okay.
The problem.
Problem, yeah.
Last night, my mom said she'll be coming up once a month, staying with me for the foreseeable future. She wants to spend time and make sure the baby knows who she is. The other grandma lives here in town. I don't think my mom wants to be left out. I tried to stay calm and not say anything rude, but I'm a little upset. That's a lot to ask of me, in my opinion.
Don't they have a house?
So the parents live 4 hours away.
No, the brother and his wife.
That's what I want to know. So I know they say, I know she can't stay with my brother, sister-in-law, and brand new baby, and they don't really have a proper guest room either.
Okay.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was just my mom coming, but I know my dad will come too. Hosting them is exhausting. I've floated the idea of hotels before, but that was quickly shut down, and I'm not really in a financial place to foot the bill. First, am I the asshole for not wanting them to come up that much? I love them and do enjoy seeing them. Second, do you have any advice on how to just tell my mom that she's asking a bit much of me? Thank you.
That's tough because I actually don't know if I agree.
You want your parent to come stay in your 1-bedroom apartment every month for several days?
1 bedroom or studio?
1 bedroom, but so the mom's like sleeping on the couch and you just can't go in the living room?
Is it for just a weekend?
A weekend every single month. I mean, it doesn't say exactly how long, but she said she wanted to come up every single month for the foreseeable future.
Okay, here's a question. Is it the worst thing in the world if your mom comes up on Friday, you guys have dinner, and Saturday she spends the entire day with the brother and the wife and then sleeps on your couch and then leaves Sunday?
Why can't she sleep on the brother and the wife's couch? Isn't she there to help with this stupid baby?
I completely agree. Is she there to help or is she there to just have fun and be cute? Because I wonder if that's just too much, having like another parent and a baby. I don't know. So it's tough because like your mom's like, I can't afford a hotel. Help me out. And you're like, once a month. Then again, this person raised you. And wouldn't it be nice to have dinner with your parents once a month?
No. They can come drive the 4 hours, hang out for the day, and drive home.
You know why I can't answer it? Because I'm not sure how this person feels about it. This person isn't saying absolutely fucking not. They're like, am I the asshole? If you're saying you do not want that and you don't want to help them and it's just too much of an inconvenience, I would just talk to your brother about like, I'm sorry, she's coming to see your kid. Why? Or can they do 1 night at my house, 1 night at your house?
Yeah, I don't understand. It seems unfair, number one, that when your brother got a girlfriend, got a wife, the parents didn't have to stay at his house anymore and they only stayed at your house.
Well, can I tell you
why
what
is
it
that?
It's
But also the fact that you're saying if it was just mom, it would be okay, but you're saying dad will probably come too. And then you have 2 other people sleeping in your apartment.
They can afford a hotel. Also, you know what it is? You're paying the price for being the single childless woman. Which is like something we do in our society. Like, oh, you're single and childless. You can take the shift. Oh, you're single and childless. You don't have any free time. We can eat into your time. Oh, they have a family. They should go. Oh, the building's on fire. You stay and die. Because these people have a family. It's a little bit of that. I think your brother is the asshole.
Yeah.
So I would talk to him. At the very least, split it. But it's weird. Mom and dad can get a budget in.
It's what, like $50, $60?
Yeah.
They come up, they drive up. They check in there, they go hang out, they have dinner, they leave the next morning.
At the very least,
they stay 1 night in a hotel once a month if they can't afford a $60 Motel
if your brother
6.
can't step it up, or you could split it, you'd be like, they can sleep in Friday and then go to your house. It shouldn't just be on you. I know what that feels like when you are just I'm not coming from your point of view, but like as somebody that has their shit together, like all of a sudden things are on me and I'm like, I'm sorry, what did I do? Why do I have to feel this? So you're not the asshole your brother is.
Yeah, I think it's a thing of like just them expecting, like, guess what? We'll be coming up every month. And it sounds like that has just been how you've been treated. And I get why you finally want to be like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Like,
it's a lot, especially if it's not like super fun.
Yeah.
And it's both of them. I would feel bad if it was just your mom and she was like single, but there's a dad there and he can get a room.
Yeah.
You two kids get a room.
Dear Iliza, Emily, and the most precious snow peach in all the land, I have a super awkward question. What do you do when your best friends ask to borrow money? Over the past few months, my best friends each have been caught in a jam and lent money to each other, and I've lent money to one of them. She did pay me back. My other friend the other day then asked me to borrow $40 because she didn't budget properly and overpaid on a bill. I want to be a good friend and help them out, and I know they would do the same for me, but it seems to be getting a bit ridiculous
now. How do you overpay on
now.
a bill? They put the amount right there.
These two girls are the best friends anybody could ever ask for, but I don't want this to turn into a habit. I also want to note that both these girls don't have the strongest family relationships. I, however, am very lucky and know that I have my family to lean on if I ever came into financial struggle. I just don't know what to do. I hope this message made sense.
So the issue is that you don't want to become a bank for your friend.
Yeah. So the fact that they've borrowed money from each other, one of them has borrowed money from her and paid her back, but then this other one wanted to borrow $40, and it just seems like it feels like it's something that might become a pattern.
Yeah, for sure. I think you just have to. It's one thing. What? Go ahead.
I think it comes down to, and I've done this, people, because everybody in LA has like a Kickstarter they want you to contribute to. For a while there, it was like, I feel like everybody was asking to donate to their project.
Everybody here is so fucked up. Everybody's got a Kickstarter.
Exactly. And so it came to the point where I was like, I'm sorry, I can't afford that right now. And it like feels crazy to say that to someone, but that's, no is a full answer. But since it's your best friend, I think you would say, I can't afford if she can't afford $40, maybe you can't afford $40. And I've said that. And then I had the person say, well, what about even a little bit helps? And I was like, I just told you I literally can't afford it. And you're asking me for money. Then that person's a maniac. But if this is your best friend and you say, I can't afford it. Or maybe, if you do give her money, I think it's with the expectation that you won't get it back. And maybe you do it this once.
Wait, hold on. She paid you, the one friend paid you back last time.
Yeah. So now the other friend has asked her for money. And it seems like those two other ones are borrowing a lot from each other back and forth. So it just seems like she's kind of like, oh, I see what's happening over there.
That's tough because you don't want to become, like, you're not a bank loan. Like, you don't want to become a walking bank loan. Yeah. And that friend saw that you did that. I mean, she saw that you have money. I would just be like, I had that money at the time. I don't know what kind of job you guys have. I don't know if you make a lot of money. And so it's like, come on, cough it up. But you're within your rights to just be like, I had the money at the time, but I don't want this to become a habit. Maybe you lend it to her this once and give her the chance to pay it back to you. But yeah, you don't want to become an ATM.
Yeah.
It's not an ATM. Yeah. It's a bank loan. You don't want to become bank loan. I would just not do it. I also think that's a great way to spoil a friendship. And also, you shouldn't have to give, I don't know how close you are, and I don't know if you can spare it. You shouldn't have to give $40. Maybe you give it this one time and then be like, dude, I did it last time. It's a little weird. Also, It's weird that you overpaid on a bill. It's all done electronically. I think your friend lied. I don't like this friend number 2.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if you're hesitant to lend it to her because you sense something.
You don't trust her. Go with your gut. You know what? Don't lend it to her. Don't lend it to her.
Or lend it to her knowing that it's kind of a test and you either get it back and you aren't worried or you don't. And you go, all right, well, I can write that off.
$40 after taxes is like $5. So if that works out logically, you should be okay. Okay.
Hey, Iliza, Emily, Teeny, Beanie, Chino, and other listeners. I have a holiday doozy for you.
Oh, I love it.
The day after Mother's Day of this year, my mom was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of stage 3 breast cancer. And because she's divorced, I became her caregiver while also working full-time at 27 years old.
She stays
Hundreds
with
of
me once
doctor's
a month.
appointments,
It's a lot.
chemo treatments,
Okay.
and a major surgery later, we've been trucking through this, just her and I. My 2 adult yet completely useless brothers, who cannot complete a task when it is delegated to them, were not an option to help, especially since her surgery was very major and everything fell on me. Although my mom is one of 6 siblings, the only person to call me all year and ask how things were going was one aunt on my dad's side. Not once has a single member of my mom's side of the family shown up for her or I. Because of this, I've decided to go no contact with them and stop attending holiday gatherings. My question is this: should I tell them why I am choosing to no longer participate? My mom has no backbone, especially when it comes to family. Is writing a letter going to help them learn from this? Or should I just try to find peace and move on? Thanks,
You should
Abby.
definitely tell them. Because then you're just suffering in silence and they're thinking, oh, Abby and her
What's
mom
up
have
with
got it
Abby?
figured out. Everything's fine. Or what happened to them? Each sibling probably thought another sibling was checking in. Or they're not that close and it's not that weird. But you should definitely relieve yourself of that burden. And you don't have to write a mean email. You can write it from a hurt place. Like, hey, you guys, I see that I'm invited this year. Because by the way, like, make sure you're right with that charge. Because what you don't want is for them to be like, various aunts and uncles to be like, we did call. Your mom didn't pick up, or I did. Just make sure you're right. And then just explain it to them and give them an opportunity to be like, I'm so like, some people get afraid when someone's sick and they don't want to say the wrong thing. It's wrong, but like, it may not be coming from a bad place. Give them the chance to at least apologize, because the goal should be to be together, but you're allowed to be hurt, and send it from both of you, or just send it from you.
Yeah, just send it from you. It could be coming from a place of ignorance, and they just, and they might go, "Oh my God," and be
didn't
there
realize.
and change, or maybe they won't. You can go, "Great, I'll never talk to any of you again. Bye bye," and not sit and stew. And they're just like, "Oh, Abby's just doing her own thing." Not
Yeah,
even
you don't know.
They're having a great time, and you're just mad.
Exactly. So you don't deserve that. So that's
No.
what I vote. Because also give them the chance. Wouldn't it be nice if they apologize? And like, how bad would you feel if you just like teed off on them and they were like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. How selfish." Then you leave no room for like a healing. So just put it out there. Be like, this was really hurtful.
Mm-hmm. An apology doesn't make up for everything, but give them the opportunity.
Think you'd like to know that they weren't coming from a horrible place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't put it on yourself.
Also, congratulations on how well your mom's doing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Do your own better holiday. I guess mom's probably going to the holiday, though. Good luck with that.
So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. Like I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat. That's one of those, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza.
All right. How do I tell my husband that he is a bad dad?
I thought you were going to say bad kisser.
We have a very energetic 4-year-old boy, and I do not doubt that my husband loves my son and vice versa. But too often something happens that will make me uncomfortable. It is never anything related to abuse. It's more treating our son like he's older and not the child he is. Like being overly sarcastic to him when he asks why, not attempting to help him with tasks he's still learning, and telling him to grow up during a terrible tantrum. Terrible two tantrum. To be fair, I have a master's in a psychology
he was
field, so
4.
I've taken... What?
She said terrible 2 tantrum. I thought she said it was 4.
I guess just this is over the course of the last 4 years.
Well,
To be fair, I have a master's in a psychology field, so I've taken numerous child development, family dynamic, child abnormal psych classes, and so on top of reading parenting books and following moms and dads I look up to on social media. So safe to say I am more informed than my husband. But every time I try correcting his parenting, he gets upset that I am not on his side and refuses to hear me out. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Maybe he was having a hard time adjusting to being a dad, but the relationship between them is affecting our marriage. Any advice is appreciated.
I cannot give you advice in this. I don't have a child. It would be so out of my league for me to be like, here's what you tell your husband. I think a lot of parents are like, I just treat my kid like an adult and that's the way I parent. I don't know that your husband's a bad dad. I think he makes choices you wouldn't make. And hopefully they're not harming your child. You know, a kid doesn't understand sarcasm. And it could just be he doesn't have the skills to deal with it. But it's even phrasing it like he's a bad dad. Would you be receptive if someone's like, how do I tell you you're a bad mother? You know? So maybe look for the good stuff he does. And can you be gentle? Be like, can you say it softer? You know, he sounds like the kind of dad that'd be like, I don't want the kid to grow up to be a pansy. But some people just can't relate to children. I might be one of them. But I wouldn't say bad dad. I don't think he's probably not a bad dad.
I think the bigger issue is that you guys can't have a conversation about the parenting and kind of like what you're going to do. Like when he has a tantrum, you should be on the same page about how you're responding, you know, or when he asks why and your husband is really sarcastic with him, maybe having like, as you said, Iliza, a gentler conversation about like kids don't get sarcasm. And I get that that's how you talk to adults, but he just hears it as mean, you know, also, but it sounds like he won't have a conversation about it.
There's like lessons for little kids and then it's like chill the fuck out. Remember that guy? He was like some writer on Twitter and his daughter asked for a can of beans, which is like weird, but whatever.
Yes.
And he like tweeted out the whole process, how he like forced her to figure out a can opener. And then this guy like lost his job and got canceled because he was like trying to be funny and like teach her a lesson. And the internet, because all people on the internet are perfect parents, just ruined this guy for life.
I remember when that happened, seeing like Bean Dad and then having to go Google and figure out what was meant by Bean Dad in the jokes. Like I was like, I need the origins of Bean Dad. But that's like, I couldn't, if you handed me a can opener, I'd be like,
really? Come on, Emily.
I mean, it takes me a second because some of them are different. I'm like, you put it on the top. You click. Like if I was a little kid, I wouldn't know what to do. But yeah, I'm sure that person loves their Bean kid. But I think the issue is that this husband will not hear the wife out. But maybe she's not hearing him out. You guys have to have a conversation.
Yeah, the issue is that you can't communicate.
Yeah.
Okay. Small dog.
Wanted to start with a massive thank you for being brave enough to say what you believe, stand behind it, and not apologize. You give so much amazing advice that I feel like many of us know, but somehow hearing from a third party really helps it to sink in and makes all of us feel validated and less alone.
Yeah, I do.
I think that's why I think it's always like when we do questions, it's like, oh, we've answered something kind of like this. But I think, look,
no, it's good. Repetition
it.
is good, and it's part of my top of the cobs. That's why I'm not chiming in now. I don't want to spoil it for later. I only have so much energy for the rest of this episode.
So my question, I'm a relatively senior service professional. I'm a lawyer. Fuck it, I'm a lawyer. Honestly, no one cares. Just say it. That's fine.
Service professional makes it sound like you're like the best waiter.
I think she was trying to like be cagey about what her job is, but she's just like, no, okay, I'm just a lawyer. I've genuinely worked my ass off for 7 years in this profession and can honestly say I know that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to my area of expertise. And I've been told so by numerous people much more senior to me, including clients. My question is this. When you have been faced with a situation where you know you are right, skilled, better, etc., but the overall framework of your profession or industry requires you to wait your turn, how have you managed this? I feel like I've spent my whole career being told that I have the it factor, but just need to be patient, be quiet, be nicer, be more something until it's my turn. And the level of overall acceptance of the strict hierarchy in spite of merit is exhausting. It sucked for me coming up, but now it's even worse watching the really talented people who work for me go through it, and I feel powerless to help them. I know sometimes you have to play the game, and smacking people over the head with your awesomeness isn't helpful. but any tips for staying sane while waiting our turn or helping others to do so?
There's some parallels in show business because it is a waiting game. I believe you can be making lateral moves that will bear fruit later. You can't force yourself to be famous. You can't force someone to hire you. You can't force people's opinions, but consistency, while not rewarded in the short term because people love something new, in the long term is more beneficial. I've never been an it girl, but I've seen a lot of it girls come and go. And I'm still here. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but I think there are ways you can be setting yourself up. If you have it and everyone's telling you got it and you're missing something, I would look very hard at what it is that you're missing, because somebody out there is just as talented as you and they're getting ahead. So what can you do in the darkness that helps you shine in the light? I took that from Under Armour, but I love it. Also, this idea that we're entitled to anything, show business is a meritocracy, but we're not entitled to it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So do you find joy in what you do anyway? I find a great joy in what I do, regardless of if I'm invited to a party or nominated. Like Elder Millennial should have had an Emmy, but it didn't. But that doesn't mean that you don't keep trying, because I love making the art, Also,
that
nobody
ad
fucking
campaign
cares.
was so brilliant. Not even the ad campaign, just the art for it was so good.
Yeah, but so you should be happy with what you're doing in the meantime. And it sounds like you're kind of not, It sounds like you need to find some joy and purpose in that. And I don't care about the people that are coming up that are going through it. That's not your concern. You need to be sitting down, and if you really want to know, ask the people who are senior to you, who are praising you. Be like, what do you think I could be doing? Can I get some feedback? Because there's always something else you could be doing, and it might be that small thing or an outlook that unlocks your own happiness or your own potential. Talent is the easy part.
What is it that you're waiting for? Is it like a thing of when you're older, people will respect you more? Like, are you waiting for a promotion?
Look, all of that being said, I'd also like to say people make the mistake of thinking that somebody is coming to give you a golden ticket. It doesn't work that way. I can be consistent, and one day, an executive will crown me. One day, a massive comic will endorse me, or they see you hustling and everybody's focused on their own shit. Nobody is going to make it happen for you. Nobody's going to ordain you. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself.
It's not like that thing where you hear oh, this actress was spotted at the soda fountain, and they were like, do you want a contract for 15 pictures?
She's like, can I fuck a president and get a pill problem? So make it happen for yourself. And if you don't feel valued at your company, go somewhere else. Yeah. Nobody is coming to help.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, by the way, I took my own advice. I don't wait for someone to be like, do you want to write a book? I write my own book. I don't wait for someone to be like, why don't you write us a script? I write my own. And that begets other opportunities. I produce my own things. I write my own stand-up. I book. Nobody is going to do it for you. Not that you are lazy. Yeah. Not that you're lazy. I'm just saying there's got to be some lateral moves you can make for the future that don't involve other people's approval.
And some networking you can do.
Yeah, get out there. There's a whole bunch of people out there that are meeting without you. That being said, I decline almost every movie premiere because I'm tired.
I mean, you're very tired. You're very pregnant.
Yeah, I'm pregnant. So what? I get it.
Hi, Iliza and friends. I'm currently a senior in high school in a really small school. My grade only has 75 kids in it. I've been in the same group of friends all 4 years, but this year I'm starting to be left out of things. My friends are starting to make big group chats without including me. They'll all hang out without me, etc. This feels kind of out of the blue for me because I don't think I've been doing anything differently or acting differently, so this whole thing feels very strange and hurtful. I've tried to talk to a couple of them about it, and they say that it's not intentional. Do you think it's worth trying to save these friendships? / do you have any advice on how to make the most this year, even though I'm in kind of a shitty situation? Love the podcast. I've been listening since May Nip.
Ooh, you're a lifer.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of them doesn't like you and has poisoned the rest against you. And because they're girls, they sit around and talk shit and kind of girls like to be mean to other girls. Or you're not hot. Or, Is it that they drink and you don't? Like, is there something that you don't do that they do? I went to a school with 100 kids in my grade, so I can't say I was always the first person to be texted, but I was texted eventually. You're probably not going to get a straight answer because none of them have the balls to be like, you know what it is? It's that we don't, whatever. So you can straight up ask all of them, but that's a little too vulnerable. I would just try to connect with other kids in your grade because you don't want to be the girl that's like, why didn't you text me? Because you know what they're doing behind your back. This might be a hard pill to swallow. They're like, ugh, who's going to text her? I don't want to. Let's just pretend we didn't. Dude, I've had parties where I'm like, just say that you threw it for me so I don't have to invite that friend. So unfortunately, this is growing up. And usually this happens in middle school and it's a bummer. But I would think long and hard. Is it someone specifically? Do you not do the same activities? Are you growing apart? Are you too hot? But also, like,
it only takes one. It only takes one of those other people in the group to not like you and for them to be the organizer and them to set up the group chat and not include you. It doesn't mean that everyone hates you. It means that everybody's a high school person and they don't have the emotional or mental fortitude to in any ways stick up for you. And so they just let it ride.
Young girls are dumb and mean. Sorry. Especially when it comes to other girls. So unfortunately, you got to go through this. There's probably not much you can do. You know, you don't want to like have a party and be like, hey, everyone, you're all invited. I made pineapple cupcakes. Can you date someone really hot? That way everyone will want to hang out with you again? Are you hot enough to do that?
I mean, find other people to hang out with. I'm sure you have other friends elsewhere.
You're a senior, school's almost done, and you're about to go to college, and life's about to get fucking lit. Right? Did she say she's a senior in high school?
I mean, yeah.
Who cares? It's your senior year. It's
you don't
over.
need them.
No, you don't need them. And you know what? It's lame when people are like, we're still best friends in high school. It's like, cool. Did you not expand your horizons at all? Take this opportunity to get to lube it up and get ready. Sorry, that is so inappropriate for a child. Well, you're right. Get ready. Life's a coming. You know what? Think of it as they've unburdened you. Go hook up with that hot weirdo that you've always like flirted with. Go be friends with those dorky kids because they are going to run your Facebook page one day. Go be friends with people who understand Bitcoin. Like, find some other friends.
Yeah. Hi, Iliza and Emily. I really need your help. Sorry, this is long, but I'll do my best to keep it short.
Okay.
All right. I'm a teacher, and a year ago I started sleeping with the art teacher / coach. At first it was just fun, but then feelings developed. In July, he suddenly switched up on me and gave me the silent treatment because I looked at his public Insta page after I hadn't heard from him for days. Before the shady act, we texted daily. He told me finally that he was trying to focus on his art and didn't want a relationship. I was okay with that. School starts up and he's flirty with me again. We start hanging out more, agree to be sexually exclusive and dating. I take us on a trip, and after the trip, he switched up again. Just not as bad as before, but I know something was off. I'd ask, he'd say everything's fine, made me feel like I was crazy. But to go from good morning, baby, and things like that to just GM was noticeable.
Ew, why bother?
So in the middle of October, we hang out before a school event in the morning, and it seems like things are good again. Then slowly it becomes rocky. I call him on Halloween because I hadn't heard from him, and he gets mad at me for it.
Ew.
I end up apologizing for caring enough to call. Then we talk, and he doesn't want to date anyone, not in a place to, his words. We agree to still be sexually exclusive. That Friday, we go out, have this super romantic night. He tells me all kinds of loving things and gets my hopes way up. Next night, I catch him with another woman. Confront him and find out he's met her daughter and they are, quote, building something, her words. My heart just broke. He's yelling at me like I'm the bad guy. She's asking me when we last were together, and I panicked and gave a later date than the truth.
Why?
That Monday, things are weird. Yeah. Then it's this flirt, not flirt thing with me again. This week he tells me he misses me, can't stop thinking of me, how close we are.
Oh my God. You're a teacher.
We're almost through it.
Okay.
We end up kissing that night and talking about getting together this weekend. Friday, though, he gives me the brush off and says he can't because of his daughter and is very dismissive. Fairly certain the other woman is back in the picture, which is why I'm out. Text him today and no reply. I'm so hurt and I can't just no contact him because of working closely together. Help. Also, I know he's a narcissist and I've trauma bonded with him, but I feel so lost and I hate it. Thanks and really love the podcast.
First of all I kept thinking was, wow, public schools need more funding if your art teacher and your gym teacher are the same person. Like those are not the
I
same,
know.
not the same parts of the brain. You know your answer. Like this guy, by the way, what do I always say? This guy has been telling you who he is, and you've been teaching him how to treat you. He knows he can always come back to you. He knows when he's bored with the girl he's with, he can text you and he can flirt with you because he has no respect for you or your feelings. Okay. So let me ask you this. Would you like to go through another couple months of this roller coaster, or cut it off now and spare yourself the rest of this pain? You can be cordial and professional and block him in your off time, which is when you are sexual with him. Okay. As for that woman, I would have no problem just if it's not too late to be like, by the way, I got it wrong. It's actually this date. The fact that you felt a sense of obligation toward him when she was interrogating you means you do not have your priorities straight. And this is fully insane. And you're going to lose so much respect for yourself. You are not his doormat. I almost said something way grosser, but you're a teacher. So doormat. I'm serious. He's just using you. This guy does not care. He doesn't.
No.
And you're like just willing to sign up for it. He's like, great, I can dump out in her anytime and just be sweet when I want and when we're drinking, and then I'm bored.
He's having fun that there's someone at work to flirt with, because that does make work more fun.
Yes.
You know, but
that's why I liked having Emily here.
But you said, you're like, oh, I know that he gets weird. Like it's when this other woman's in the picture and he's met her kid or she's met his kid. He has a kid. I don't know. But
are not this desperate. Okay.
No.
Like that's cool. And then when you start dating another guy, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I was even hanging out with this gym teacher / artist.
Also, yeah, you're saying like, yes, you work together, but like you're in your classroom, he's in his classroom. Like you're not teaching the art together. Like you're not
also, he told you he couldn't be in a relationship because he needed to focus on his art. How was that not the biggest turnoff?
Yeah. You know it, and you're asking us, and we're here to tell you, get out. He's not worth it.
I've really got to focus on my paper mache hut. I've really got to focus on my science project volcano. Hard pass. Come on, you know what to do.
Top of the cob?
Tip of the key.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite. Top of the cob.
Okay, my top of the cob is sorry about the sniffles, folks. I literally can't breathe out of my nose. I always read the cards and letters that people give after a show, and I noticed like kind of overall lately, first of all, I got some really touching ones. This last show in Cincinnati, I get touching ones all the time, but more and more these cards mention the same things. And it's one thing to be like, oh, you know, you're a role model and very nice things that I didn't set out to be, but I do love hearing. But it really is touching the amount of people that mention Don't Panic Pantry. And, you know, it's something that we started out to do just so we could entertain ourselves and help people. We really did want to help people. Art is not typically an altruistic thing. It's kind of selfish, but we really did want to encourage people like it's going to be okay, even if we didn't know it was going to be okay. And the amount of people that write in like, we had dinner with you. I live alone. I had dinner with you every night. Me and my husband watched it every night. The love for what Don't Panic Pantry was, and the love, Noah gets like weird about this, but like the love that I see for Noah and the amount of women that write in that bring up how much they love seeing me and Noah. I don't think of someone that like is performative with my relationship, or like I don't post a lot of like me and the hubs. Like, and if you do, that's great, but I'm very happy in my marriage and I definitely don't feel the need to prove anything. But I find it very pure and genuine and sweet how many women looked at my relationship and they want that for themselves. Because there's a thin line between love and hate. We all like have those celebrity couples, not that we're that. We're like, I love them. And you're like, I actually think I hate them.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Are you upset that because you're married, you can't date Pete Davidson?
I was going to take a real swing at it. I got my own big dick energy over here. Also, Noah has a big dick. Anywho, But
Right.
it's
This
just
is Thanksgiving. Your family listens to this. No, I feel
They
like his
don't.
family is more likely to listen to this than your family.
it's okay. They know what's up. His family knows he has a large penis.
Are you going to be
but
doing any Thanksgiving posting? I know you're not going to do an episode, but do you think you'll post your spread at all so we can see what you're eating over there?
I actually don't know. I think it'll be like he's already posted he was making mushroom stock today and the days before Thanksgiving. I think it's like a little gross to be like, here's my plate. Like I've started looking at the majority of things that are posted and I'm just kind of grossed out by opulence and decadence and even material possessions, of which I have many.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really internalizing your cards and the things that people say. And so you don't ever have to write me a card, but when people really take time to express how my comedy or my career, my choices in this career have helped them, it is a very nice thing to read because I do feel like I do it in a vacuum. But the DPP and the Noah of it all, I found really touching.
Yeah.
That was my tip of the kip.
It is very nice how everybody very much embraced him in the same way they do Jianfu, in the same way that they will the baby. And it just is like spending that time. They're not like, we're just here for Iliza. Like he's the heart of Don't Panic Pantry.
He really is. But I'm the razzle dazzle. All right.
You are.
What's your top of the cup?
My top of the cob is for my first Thanksgiving home in 9 years. I'm just going to get to eat. Nobody's coming over. Usually, I feel like whenever my family has holidays, there's like strangers over.
Yeah. That's the
like
best
parents,
part.
friends. And then you have to like put on a nice top, you know? and,
God
like,
forbid.
Be chit-chatty, which I've done and I will do. And I'm doing it at
There's
Christmas.
only
but on
you and your mom and
Thanksgiving-
your dad. There's just the three of you?
Yeah.
That's a tiny one. That's like a Swanson's frozen dinner.
That's my dream. That's all I want. I'm going to have the best time. I'm going to get to eat all the mashed potatoes and pie and stuffing. And I'm trying to see if we can figure out my grandma's recipe for spinach artichoke. It's not a dip. It's like big cooked artichoke hearts. It's like artichoke heart casserole. And I want to figure that out. But I'm very excited for that.
Okay.
People keep DMing me because we had that episode recently and they're like, when Iliza called you out and you were eating trout, that was shocking.
It was funny. It was such a reckoning because you're always like, quit eating. And I'm watching you nibble off camera and you're eating fish.
Secretly eating fish. What's your bottom?
The bottom of the cob actually happened to me this morning. I was on a flight home from Cincinnati to get to LA and I fly a lot and pregnant, I've flown all over Europe. Everything's fine. Obviously, I'm the most pregnant I've been.
Yes.
And I wear compression socks when I fly, which I never really thought mattered because I'm not swollen or anything, but I bought them as a precautionary measure. And I was about an hour into the flight and I woke up and my feet were tingly. And that happens to me sometimes, or anybody, if you you're in a seat. So an artery is up against the armrest or you're on your arm, fall asleep. But they were tingling a lot. And I started to get nervous because I was like, why won't they stop tingling? And then I'm sitting there alone in the seat and I'm like, oh my God, do I have deep vein thrombosis? What is deep vein thrombosis? Like, am I giving myself an aneurysm? Like, how does blood work? And then my stomach started to hurt. And I was like, I'm pretty in touch with my body. And I'm like, okay, it's your upper stomach, which is not where the baby is. So maybe you're just hungry. It's like, well, I only slept 3 hours and I ate kind of late. So how hungry could I be? Is it acid? Is it gas? And like when I feel it in my chest, I'm like, I know it's gas. Like if you feel it in your chest, you know it's gas, but I'm like, or it's not. And for the first time in my life, I actually had to get up and stretch my legs and like move my feet. And I couldn't get comfortable. And I think just sitting in those seats like constricts the blood, of which you have more of. But I started to get scared. And then I fell asleep for a little bit. And in the dream, which is part of your third trimester, I'm like textbook third trimester symptoms, is you have these like really weird, vivid dreams. And I had a very vivid dream that I was at a doctor's checkup and I like collapsed on the floor.
Oh my
And
God.
I thought it was actually happening. Like I woke up nervous. I also had one of those, I don't know if you ever had these dreams on planes where you have a dream that the plane has to make a landing. It's never an emergency landing as much as like, we have to stop in Denver, like on a freeway.
Yeah.
And so I thought all these things were happening and my legs it was just a really fucked up flight. And I was just staring. I couldn't watch another episode of Big Bang Theory. And so I was just staring at like the flight tracker, like trying to like tell myself, okay, you see you're coming in, you're flying over Las Vegas. That's an hour away from home. Then it's a half hour, takes a half hour to descend. Like just trying to talk it out. And I hate to say this, you're supposed to keep your mask on. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe through my nose, even though I had the breathe right strip. And I was like, not hyperventilating. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but like it was tough. And I was that person. I just took my mask off to drink like a soda water, and nobody came by. And I was just like hiding in my hood. I was just like, I can't breathe. So it was scary.
Yeah. When you
'Cause I was-
landed and you like got up, did your legs still feel weird?
No, I felt totally fine. And I got the legs to feel fine halfway through. But like the whole time as a pregnant woman, you're like, am I killing my baby? Like what is
Yeah.
happening? And I was just like, you're being irrational. This is not how it happens. Put your mask back on.
Well, you made it through. You made it through all those big legs of your trip.
Big legs with my tingly legs.
Oh boy. Well, my bottom of the cob, my laptop was having issues, so I sent it in. So I'm on my old laptop that the keyboard and mouse don't work because I dropped a smoked salmon bagel face down onto it, and so it's all doesn't work.
You're disgusting. Disgusting eating habits. That should still work. It's not like salmon soup.
Caper juice got all up in the trackpad.
Oh my God. I did the caper juice. Folks, we would love for you to like and subscribe. I know
We're
a lot of you listen
thankful.
to the pod because more and more of you are coming up at meet and greets to say like, I love Ask Iliza Anything. So thank you. Please leave a review. A nice one, not a shitty one. Don't be mean.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts is really the only place you can leave a review. I think maybe you can in Stitcher. So if you listen somewhere else, thank you for your support. Share it. Over the holidays,
Share
if you're in
it.
America and you don't know what to talk to someone about, be like,
Load
have you
up.
heard of this podcast?
No, not even just America. This goes worldwide, baby.
Well, I'm saying the holidays in America. It's not a
Right.
holiday anywhere else.
It's Christmas everywhere else all the time. They don't have Thanksgiving. Okay. Just in the season.
Tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for some. Okay. So, share it and just know that we love you and we love doing the podcast. And it really is so touching that so many people listen. I get a lot of people who have really hard jobs. They're like, I load up on the pod. No one talks like that but me. And then I go into work and I deal with my shit boss. So we love our listeners and we love you guys. And we're a real cottage industry here. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I think it's our first Thanksgiving back. We're not done with COVID, but like people can be together. I know I'm taking advantage of it. We're making everybody prove that they're vaccinated. Everybody has to get a rapid test and we're eating outside. So
Great.
very
Look,
much
better
looking forward to it.
safe than sorry.
I don't know. Sometimes it feels good to be sorry because then you can be like, at least I wasn't safe. Tits out.
Well, not when there's a baby.
Yeah, I got to be careful with the baby.
Yeah.